This screencast is to show how to take a test that is written in this kind of compact format where the answers go across the screen and turn it into one where the answers are stacked up one on top of the other. The reason I decided to do this is that recently I visited our Office for Disability Services because I have a blind student in my class right now, and her tests have to be converted into Braille. And I went over there and asked to see the Braille-printer, and the very nice lady there showed me the printer and also showed me that she had to do quite a bit of work to my test to make it compatible with the Braille-printer. She was essentially going through and taking all of my questions and redoing them so that the answers were stacked one on top of the other instead of being out horizontally like that. So when I saw that I had caused this woman so much work, I decided there must be a way to automate this, and so I set about it. Now, the first problem is that my test was kind of a mess. You see, I've chosen to enable the non-printing characters, and each of these arrows represents a tab. And I was using tabs to separate one answer from another. And you can see here that some of them have two tabs, some only have one tab between. I was trying essentially to make them even, and this in itself is kind of ugly and a little bit hackish. So what I decided I needed to do was to come up with some consistent way to separate each of these answers. What I hit upon was using exactly 5 spaces rather than any amount of tabs. So to convert all of these tabs into spaces, we use a regular expression substitution. I'm going to open up the search field and search for tabs, which are indicated by a /t, and we have to make sure that regular expressions are enabled, yes. And I want to replace every tab with 5 spaces. Now, hang on, how many? I was talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Every tab will now be replaced with 5 spaces. Now, of course, this is still not going to be even because in some places there are 2 tabs, in some places there are 1. But I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. It replaced it 65 times. Great. So now you can see some of them have 10 spaces and some have 5. The way to fix this is to search now for, and also in my other tests, I had some like mixtures of tabs and spaces, so it was a complete mess. What I will search for now is any instance of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What this will find, the asterisk is a wildcard character that will match stuff in between these other things. So what this is going to match is any collection of 6 or more spaces, no matter how many they are, all together, and replace them with 5 spaces. Let's do that. Okay, those are done. It replaced it 58 times. So now we can see I have a much more tidy layout here. Every answer has 5 spaces between it. Now what this enables me to do is to predict where answers will start much more accurately. The key to this kind of automated reformatting is predictable, consistent formatting. Now it also relies on using the automated numbering. If you move your cursor over there to the far left-hand side, you should see that all of these A's, in this case, are highlighted. That's because they're done with automated numbering, as are the numbers here, 11 through whatever. It's important to use the automated numbering or else the substitutions will not work right. What I want to do essentially is to automate the process of finding each answer that is not A and selecting that and pressing enter. When I do that, you can see that it changes each of those into an automated numbering. This is, in this case, it's a letter. This is just the second level of automated numbering. You can define this any way you want. I've decided to define the second level as lowercase a, b, c with a parenthesis after it. So what I want to do is automate that. The way to do that efficiently, now that we have very consistent formatting set up, is another regular expression substitution. I'm going to open up the search field again, and this time I'm going to search for anywhere there are 5 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by any letter between B and E, because that's the range of letters that I have for my answers. And then that needs to be followed by a parenthesis, just to make sure we're only getting answers and not some other thing. And the parenthesis has to be escaped by a little escape mark there, the forward or backslash. I don't know what slash that is. And then one more space. And I'm going to replace that with the newline character, which essentially presses enter after it has found that. And make sure regular expressions are chosen and hit replace all. And ta-da, it's done. All of these have now been reformatted so that the answers go down the page instead of across. Now, this is not what I want to do for my regular class because it would take reams and reams of paper to print, the 100 plus copies of the test that I need. But for the blind student, I'm happy to be able to do this. And now you can see it's very, very quick and easy. The last thing to do would be I think for the sake of the Braille reader, I would probably want to get rid of these lines in front of the numbers. And the way to do that, this is actually part of my numbering style. So I'm just going to change the numbering style. And here it says before is 3 underscores. I'm going to get rid of those underscores. Click OK, and now those are gone. And the woman who works at the disability office also said that it's best if there is a blank line in between each question. So after the last answer for each question, there should be a blank line before the next question begins. And the way I've decided to do this, there's no way that I have found to do it inside the word processor. This is LibreOffice, by the way, but if you use Microsoft Word or some other word processor, I'm assuming there will be equivalent ways to do all of this stuff. I select all, copy, and then paste it into a text editor. I have here, let's get rid of this one. Actually, just do this. I'm going to paste it. Don't save that. Sorry about that. So I've just pasted all of this, and now it's in just plain text. And this is fine for the Braille software, for the Braille-printer. But I'm going to save it. I'm going to call this test1.txt. And now I have a shell script. This is on Linux that I'm doing this, that will run through and find every instance of a line that begins with a number, which would indicate a new question, and put a blank line above it. So it does, let's see, test2 Braille test1.text. Okay, let's see what happens. Alright, so now it has done the script and saved it as a new file, and now you can see that each question has a blank line above it. I will open this now in a word processor to show properly. Let's see. I'm going to open with LibreOffice Writer. There. Let's get rid of the non-printing characters. And now this is what I will send to the Office of Disability Services. A test that's formatted with the answers written out vertically, a blank line in between each question, and so forth. So I should save the nice lady over there half an hour, 45 minutes of work by not sending her a bad test. And that's about it.